bring in White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders this morning. Sarah, thanks for joining us again this morning. We just saw that tweet from the president about Judge Kavanaugh's testimony. What do you think of Dr. Ford's testimony?
Look, I think Dr. Ford's testimony, like most Americans, felt it was very compelling, but it also lacked any evidence. It didn't have any corroboration, and I think that's one of the big differences that you saw between Dr. Ford's testimony and Judge Kavanaugh. While I believe something bad happened to this woman, and I think it is absolutely awful and horrific, not what she went through just 36 years ago, but also what she had to go through yesterday. And I think that it is absolutely disgraceful the way that the Democrats have used and exploited this process. And I think they frankly owe an apology to both Dr. Ford and Judge Kavanaugh. But I think yesterday was a great contrast of two individuals coming forth, laying out their cases, both compelling, but one had a big difference in it, and that was that it was corroborated by everybody involved. Everybody that had been named came down and backed up the
Sarah, you
defense
just repeated something that Judge Kavanaugh said several times yesterday, and it's simply not true. The other people out there, two of them say they don't remember what happened, not that they back up his story.
They've said they don't recall anything like that. You've had a countless number of people that have known Judge Kavanaugh all of his life that have come forward, said these things didn't happen. He's been through 6 separate background investigations. He had the calendars. He had a number of other things that backed up his story. And certainly I think he was incredibly powerful and very clear, and he's been unequivocal from day one that this did not take place by him.
The president used the same phrase that Judge Kavanaugh used, search and destroy mission by the Democrats. So does the president believe that Judge Ford was part of a search and destroy mission?
Look, I think the Democrats are part of a search and destroy mission. I think they have been so outrageous in the way that they have handled this process. They could have spared both of these individuals' families, and that's why I think they owe them both an apology. The fact that this could have been done in a way that didn't publicly destroy both of them, I think it is awful what Dr. Ford had to go through yesterday, and equally awful what Judge Kavanaugh and his family have had to go through over the last couple of months. This could have been done differently, and I think it is absolutely disgraceful, and it is terrible for our country, the precedent that yesterday set. One
way it could have been done differently if there were an FBI investigation after the allegations came forward, as there was an FBI investigation after the allegations came forward against Judge Clarence Thomas. We've seen overnight the ABA is now saying that that would be the wise move. Why not do that now?
Look, Judge Kavanaugh has been through 6 background investigations. He's been at the height of scrutiny for over 26 years.
Not since these allegations came forward.
But these allegations took place long before any of those background checks would have taken place. Look, I've been through one of those before. George, you have. You know how the process works. They go to your neighbors. They talk to your classmates from high school, from college, co-workers that lead all the way up to your present day. And at no point during any one of the 6 separate times he's had that done has anything come up. At the same time, you saw yesterday a question and answer session, which would be very similar to what the FBI would conduct. And we know that they're not going to come to a conclusion. There is a process for this. It took place yesterday. Unfortunately, it took place in front of all of America instead of behind closed doors, and put these individuals through something they didn't have to do. I find it absolutely outrageous and interesting that Democrats, who constantly campaign about how they care about women and they want to empower women, the way that they exploited Dr. Ford for their own political purposes yesterday was absolutely disgraceful, and I think they owe her an apology.
Sarah, I have to say, Dr. Ford is not asking for an apology from the Democrats.
I understand she's not, but I still think they owe her an apology, and I think they owe one to Judge Kavanaugh. She did ask that they keep this confidential, and I think that what has taken place has been a total sham, as Lindsey Graham called it yesterday. Certainly agree with him on that front. But at this point, I think it's time for us. They took and got to hear both testimonies yesterday, and it's now time for the Senate to step up and put a vote to the floor.
Does the president have the votes?
I'm sorry?
Does the president have the votes?
I certainly hope so, and I certainly think so. And I think that we have to move forward in this process, and Judge Kavanaugh deserves a vote, and that's where we are. The process has gone fully through, and the Senate needs to come together, and they need to do so quickly, and they need to put a vote to the floor.
Sarah Sanders, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you, George.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.